Hi everyone, it's Susan Walsh, Classification Guru. I am back at Alteryx Inspire for my third year and I'm so excited to have Dan Keyworth with me this year. We've met before in London.
Yep.
And we kind of crossed paths, but we've never met in Vegas before. Is this your first Inspire?
Not in Vegas, no.
Okay.
Been before.
Yeah, cool.
But we did see each other last time in London.
Yes, we did, which is a
long time ago.
Yeah. So McLaren have been users of Alteryx for quite a while now. So how are you leveraging Alteryx to plan for and prepare for your upcoming races?
Well, of course, there's so much that goes into the planning of a race.
Yeah.
We have to prepare these two cars to go racing 24 times a year around the world. One of the big focuses for us, and you would have seen this in 2024, was around our perfect reliability score.
Yeah.
We've been really doubling down with Alteryx as to how we can elevate that space. And reliability is not an easy thing to solve. There's so many different data sources you have to wrangle all the time. And the nature of prepping and blending with Alteryx means you can take these quite complex data sources and make a really simple picture. And what we've been doing is looking at what are the life of parts, but also making sure that we get the most life out of them before they get to a point of failure. So we've been using Alteryx to find out what's the right changeover decision point to make sure that the car's 100% perfect on track. And it proved to be the right thing last year, and we got 100% reliability score. 2% was the margin in the championship.
Wow.
So we had to put everything into it last year, and of course that was a key, almost the untold truth of the season, which is reliability.
Yeah, and you don't just oversee F1, you do Indy and other Formula E as well. So can you use the same kind of principles in each one, or is it very different?
Well, I think F1's always been a technological leader, so anything these sports are learning from it. Although other series are kind of influencing the future of Formula One.
I'm just thinking you can like take your model and just move it over and tweak it a little bit.
I'd love to think it was that easy. Of course, we'll always look for those types of opportunities, but you know, F1's always the core focus.
We'd be out of jobs if it was that easy.
Exactly.
Cool. So last year I talked to your team about the pit stop world record, and this year we're talking about the 2024 Constructors Championship, and also the Miami Grand Prix races. Like, you guys are flying right now, so tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, obviously last year was an amazing thing for the history books. 26 years since we last won a Constructors Championship. Great to be a part of that. We've set off on the right foot for 2025.
Yeah, cheering you on.
Of course, we're only a quarter through the season though, so we've got to really keep our feet on the ground. Things are looking good. We've got two great drivers as well, and that are battling out themselves. We're gonna do what we can this year, and also continue to look ahead as well into the new regulations.
And I guess data and Alteryx is definitely going to help you play a part in that.
For sure, like the amount of data we have to deal with daily is growing.
I can't even imagine like every single data point that you have on a car, for example. It must be crazy.
Yeah, 150 sensors on a race car, 250 million data points per car per race weekend. So we've got to a point now where it's beyond what the human can comprehend. So we've got to focus now on how do we enrich that with AI and start to harness that data in a way that continues to add performance to the car all the time.
I'm going to go off script here, but do you find the data ties in with what the drivers say, or does sometimes that?
Yeah, we use kind of the data to correlate the human side of the business, right? So whatever the driver's saying, we'll be looking in the data to go, can we actually understand the meaning of that feeling? And how do we also react to either make their life easier or encourage them to drive perhaps in a slightly different way? Based on that data as well.
So my next question is, how important has the role of data and analytics played in the team's performance this year? But I can imagine.
Yeah, so much. Like it's a data sport. It's the lifeblood of what we do. Every decision made in this sport is based on a data point. Whether that's at the top end in aerodynamics, every time you're making those small little tweaks to the race car, it's not based on gut and intuition. It's based on a data point. And then we put it into a wind tunnel, and then we put it into a driver's simulator before we even get to the racetrack. So you think all of these things are generating new data points, and they're all great correlation points to the race car as well. And we take out in free practice and qualifying and in the race. So we're always trying to solve the data problem, which is we saw something upstream. How do we make sure we recognize the value of that performance once we get to the track?
It's amazing. I mean, I've been watching Formula One since the 90s. So, it used to be about pit stops and fuel stops, and how much fuel, like, you know, can you go on, and how many times do you have to refuel. And now it's all about the data. That is what's driving the competitive advantage. So yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
And obviously, you know, apart from meeting me, what's been your most inspiring McLaren moment of the past year?
Oh wow! Well, obviously,
I know it's hard to top.
Well, obviously, you
got a little Susan.
I have, yeah. I don't know where it is, but yeah.
No,
yeah.
I know there's more than that.
So we, you know, winning the championship was obviously a big thing. I think the first win in Miami was huge for the team.
Yeah.
It really sort of set the wheels in motion, no pun intended. And it all got great from there. But that was just a moment of all the hard work and what it.
You can really see what it means to everybody.
It's great, and that's, you know, our culture is a massive thing for us. You know, the whole team getting behind it. When you see things like the world record pit stop and all of the people around the car, actually, there's so much more that goes into that moment. And we had this great pit stop in the last few laps of the Abu Dhabi race before we won the championship, and actually that was, you know, milliseconds between win or lose. So, you know, it all comes down to those moments, and it's always great to be part of that.
That's what's making F1 so great again, is that it is like, there's no clear winner. And, you know, like you say, quarter through, things can change at any time. Obviously, you're going to win this year, one of the Drivers' Championships and the Constructors. That's my call for the year. But yeah, I know, I'm just so pleased as a local resident to Woking that, you know, you guys are doing so well.
Right.
And how have you seen the use of data and analytics change since you've worked at McLaren?
Well, the curve of the amount of data we generate, like I said earlier, is just so exponential. And it's really, I think what we've done is we've developed good tools and technology around that data problem in a way that means we understand it better.
Yeah.
We can use it in different ways. I think the topic of AI is really interesting. Obviously, it's very in vogue at the moment, but you know, for us, we see that it gives people like data scientists and engineers more headroom to be creative and do the role that they really want to do, rather than the mundane, and really remove that from their day-to-day. And that's super important for us.
What did you do before analytics tools? Was it spreadsheets?
Oh, a mixture of everything.
Bit of paper.
I don't want to
okay,
give away
don't
all
give away
the
trade secrets. That's fine.
all the laundry.
I know, I can't help it. I'm such a fan.
Of course, but there's all different types of methods we've used in the past. Some really great, and some not so mature. But you know, we've certainly focused on that area, and we are really good at doing what we do.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I am so excited about the year ahead for you. Wishing you and the team all the best of luck, and hopefully I might see you at Silverstone as well.
Very much. Great.
Cool. Thanks very much.